Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. I'm going to tell you something that will come as quite a surprise to you, but apparently Nicola Sturgeon has failed to tell the truth. No, I know, a woman sort of bound by her own personal code of honour to be honest and open at every available opportunity has somehow, amazingly, remarkably, lied. Now, what she lied about this time? Well, there's so many things you can pick, but this particular one is about the abuse of children. Why not? It is the SNP. We all know what the P stands for, don't we? So why should she be any different? But I'm not saying that she's done this. No. But she certainly aided it and aided the cover-up because she has basically lied and did not tell the truth about the Scottish football abuse investigation. If you cast your mind back, she insisted that ministers could not intervene. She said it was outside of their remit, that they could not intervene to add to the legal establishment and to Scottish football into the inquiry's remit, that whole investigation into historical abuse was. Turns out that that's now been confirmed to be a complete and utter lie. And it isn't a case of her misspeaking or not knowing the law. She knows the law. She is a qualified solicitor, just doesn't practice because she's not very good at it, must be said. But she knows the law. No, she'd been advised on that, but she decided that to do it would be rather embarrassing to the SNP and would have included people very close to and members of the SNP. Some have gone on to lead very successful careers, shall we say. I can't say any names, but regular viewers will know who I mean. But her claim that ministers could not widen this remit was just simply not true. They could, they chose not to. And this amazing claim, this claim has come out of the blue, but it's come from the Scottish Conservative Justice spokesman, who is also very, very likely to become the next Conservative leader in Scotland, Russell Finlay. He has got now a challenger, it must be said, but only at the last minute. On the very last day, did a challenger come forth because the challenger said, maybe it might be best to have an actual contest. But I don't think there'll be any doubt that Russell Finlay will win this one. But Finlay says he wants the inquiry expanded. He wants the historical claims within football to be included. He says because there's undoubtedly sort of what he describes as industrial scale abuse in Scottish football, and of course this includes the referee Hugh Stevenson and famously and massively the widespread abuse at the Celtic Boys Club. They would also come under this remit, which of course Sturgeon was very, very keen to avoid at all costs because of the connections between that and people within, as I say, the SNP. Another sort of new module that would fall under this investigation would be to examine the legal establishment's ring of PEDs. You've got to be careful how you pronounce these things. YouTube has a problem and you say certain things it doesn't like it, so we have to be speaking around it. But let's just say there's a ring of predominantly men who enjoy spending time with predominantly very young people, put it that way. These victims included Susie Henderson. She suffered years of abuse at the hands of her father, Robert Henderson, and his associates in the legal profession, dubbed the Magic Circle. And of course, there's people, again, within the SNP hierarchy who were allegedly part of that Magic Circle and who, having done this to children, have gone on to have somewhat successful careers in politics. And that, of course, is another reason why Sturgeon said, no, we must not extend this, we must not do this, and invents lying reasons why this investigation should be curtailed and shunned and kept well away from anything close to the SNP itself. At Holyrood last month, Mr. Findlay was informed by Natalie Don, who's the children's minister, that there were no plans to revise the inquiry's remit and in terms of reference. Because she was saying that that this abuse took place out with what she said out with residential settings. In other words, unless it was within the home, the SNP couldn't investigate, or the inquiry couldn't investigate it. And that, again, quite clearly a load of old rubbish. The inquiry should have the power to investigate all abuse everywhere at any time. To do otherwise is to basically condone abuse, to say it's okay if it happens in certain places or at certain times. And more, of course, specifically, if it's permittedly done by certain people. Certain people may get away with it because certain people are politically powerful. See where this is going, don't you? Anyway, it now does mean that there are basically two classes of abused children in Scotland. Those who are heard by the inquiry and those for whom the inquiry must not hear, because the inquiry would have to go down and investigate that abuse, and it would throw up some very unpleasant, for certain political parties, truths. There'd be a lot of home truths. A lot of chickens would be coming home to roost. And by chickens, I mean, of course, cocks. You have, obviously, the legal professional one, the football one, but there's all sorts of things, and there's going to be a political one. Guaranteed there'll be a political one. But this misinformation has been fed in by Nicola Sturgeon, deliberately stirring the pot, deliberately obfuscating the inquiry, obfuscating the investigation, hiding the truth, making sure the truth never comes out, protecting people within the party. I suspect protecting people very, very, very close to her. I can't mention any names, and I think it would be quite wrong to mention anyone at the top of the SNP, or anyone at the top of the SNP who's been at the top of the SNP for some time, and perhaps people who all of a sudden aren't at the top of the SNP anymore due to certain things that may or may not have happened. Or people who may well be very much at the top of the SNP now, who may well be involved. Are they involved with this? Who knows? It's not my place to say. But she breached the Public Inquiries Act 2005. She knows it. The inquiry knows it. Everybody knows it. But nobody's doing anything about it. And so we have this last chance to do right, to visit justice, and to hopefully bring closure to all those who were abused in Scotland by these various people in power. And they could do it. And it's up now. The irony is, it's up to John Swinney. And if John Swinney doesn't do it, why would John Swinney not want to extend the range of the investigation? Why would John Swinney not want the investigation to look into wider causes? Can't think of a reason. But I bet he does. I bet he doesn't allow this to go on and extend. I wonder why. I bet you're wondering why too. Thanks a lot. Bye.